We felt very British and we weren't going to be treated as second-class citizens by anybody. I could see people throwing bottles, and then I could hear them exploding and the crack of the glass flying all over the show. Well, it all started one afternoon. Somebody said to me, "You know this bloke Mosley is kicking up a row?" I said, "Yeah, I heard he has." He said, "Do you want to come along and see what's going on?" And I said, "Yes, I am interested." And we went to the Tower Gardens. And as we got to the Tower Gardens, so we could hear a man shouting, telling us how terrible we were and how the Jews were oppressing everybody, and he would go into an anti-Semitic tirade. Well, we used to object to it. I mean, I used to go to work every morning and come home every night, and I worked for wages, and I wasn't doing anything illegal, and yet I was being called all the names under the sun, and I objected to it. It was in 1936 when an announcement was made in the local press that Oswald Mosley made a statement to the press that it applied to Scotland Yard for permission to hold a rally at Tower Gardens outside the Tower of London, to be followed by a march, and the Home Office see no reason why it shouldn't take place, and it would be a negation of democracy if the march was stopped. When we in the East End heard that statement, we went berserk. We started holding meetings in the East End, anti-fascist meetings. We knew we'd be breaking the law, but we had no option. Sometimes you have to do the wrong thing to get the right thing done. So we had all the pavements whitewashed with the statements, "They shall not pass." And also we had notices all over the show. It was being put on walls everywhere, "They shall not pass." Came the Sunday, October the 4th, I was wearing my brand new Max Baer jacket. I'd saved up for months. It was so smart, I loved it. And at 12:30, I walked along Brick Lane, through Osborne Street into Whitechapel Road, and went to Gardener's Corner. By 1:15, 1:45, Whitechapel Road, as far as I could see, was chock-a-block with people. They were standing from wall to wall and nobody could get through. And I was standing in front of the gardener's window, and looking down Aldgate, I saw about 20 mounted policemen coming towards me. They were about 20, 25 yards away. And they were speeding. I could hear the horses, clip-clops of the horses getting faster, and I could see the batons in their hand. Suddenly the crowd in front of me, and there were, by now, the area by the tram was completely full of people, saw the police and moved back. That sharp that I went straight through the gardener's window. Crash, landing amongst the tailor's dummies and the shirts and clothing and everything else that was in the shop window. Smothered in blood, I was dragged out by some of the people that had seen me go through the window and pulled round the corner to where we had first aid posts. And I could hear the screaming that was going on outside and the noise of explosions. Mosley was determined to use the police to force his way through the East End. As soon as we heard that the police had turned into Cable Street, whoever was available rushed down Commercial Road into Christian Street. I came along here and I turned right here. I could hear the people shouting. It was quite exciting. I was puffing away. And as I came round the corner, I was amazed to see this terrific barricade right across the road. I could hear shouting and screaming from the people behind. I could see them throwing bottles, and there was stuff going all over the show. There was water coming from on top. There were people on the roof throwing stones and bottles of half-filled lemonade. Marbles were being thrown with a handful. Stones and bricks and wood, all falling and stopping anybody trying to climb over the barricades. And this went on for a good half hour, when finally I heard a voice come from the roof above shouting, it's all over, they're gone. And we looked down Cable Street, we couldn't see, all we could see was the back of the horses and nothing else. And we marched down Whitechapel Road, stopping the traffic coming the other way, which couldn't come anyway because so many people were there. We went into Cambridge Heath Road, and as we got towards Bethnal Green Road, so the people who had been cheering, thinking we were Mosley's mob, and there was quite a crowd there, were shocked when they discovered they weren't. When they saw the red flags, they disappeared in a second. And then with my torn Max Baer jacket hanging off me, I made my way home. It showed us that if you are in the right, you've got to ignore the objections to what you're doing, and you've got to stick to your guns. If you stand up for what you believe in, then you can make history.